Beethoven on the ukulele. Here we go. Let me go stick this on the website. Our website is jollyrogerukulele.com. You already know that, or you wouldn't be here. But I'm like to say, it makes me feel happy to say it. And so let me push this on to book 2. It's Friday today, and we used to do concerts on Friday, and then it became, the pandemic got kind of wrapped, not wrapped up, but certainly ramped down. And so people are going outside on Fridays now, and despite everyone's best judgment. And so we're moving concerts to Monday, and I don't have a cute saying for it yet. Ukulele Learning from Massachusetts came up with a whole bunch of them the other day. They were all hilarious. I don't know if I want to use any of them, but that's what we're doing. That's what he was trying to think of it. Ukulele Madness Monday or something like that. Anyway, so on Monday we move the concerts. All right, then double checking that the link works. It does, so we're ready to roll there. Let me go put this on Twitter. https jollyrogerukulele.com. Ode to Joy from Beethoven's 9th. I should put 8th and see how many people tweet me back. It's not from the 8th, it's from the 9th. Okay, and then let's put the picture on. Dink, and tweet. Patience, and there we go. We are up and running. All right. Twitter's done. Website's up and running. Let's close that window. Close that window. Here we go. Here we go. Beethoven, Ode to Joy. The piece of music that you have in front of you is the ukulele version of Ode to Joy. And we put a real classical ukulele on here. And what's fascinating here is I did not give you a melody line, and I gave you a whole bunch of other junk. And so let's talk about how you would approach a piece of music when you don't have the melody line, which you never will, really, but it's still something. I want you to see something like this and be like, yeah, I know what to do. I don't need Gary. Okay, that's my greatest joy in life, was when musicians are at a point where they're like, I'm just going to do my own thing. And usually that's the point they start running me down, right? They're like, oh, Gary. Have several of those people in my orchestra right now. They're like, oh, that Gary and his, he thinks he knows everything about strings, and they know one thing really well about strings, and so all of a sudden I don't know anything, right? So I'm used to that. I like that. I think it's fine, right? We raise up our little birds and we watch them fly away, cursing the whole time. My goddaughter is going to college next year, and so this summer she's a graduated senior, and we're all finding out that it'll be really good to see her go off to college. Same thing with my nephew. His mom said, yeah, the reason they make the summer after your senior year is so that you can be overjoyed when they leave the house. She was just, and she loves Gavin, right? He's the greatest thing ever, but not that summer. She couldn't wait to get him in the car and get him off to college. All right, Jan is in. Greetings from Lakewood. Nice 97-degree day we're having out there. Ronnie in from New Mexico. Got us beat by a couple degrees. Sound and video are good. Thank you, Ronnie. Ook. South Florida. Nice. How do we say that? You can do it. Oh, nice. I was like, can do it. It looks French. You ukulele can do it. Can do it. But you can do it. I like that. Very nice. Warm wishes to you in South Florida. I tell the story every time somebody from Florida logs in. I was in Florida one time. It rained like I was in the shower, that much for 8 straight days. And this is in Fort Lauderdale. It was early summer. 8 straight days it rained. It didn't stop at all. It just rained like that for 8 days. Even the people there were like, yeah, we're sure getting a lot of rain. and total, Fort Lauderdale Beach, is sort of famous from the 1980s spring break movies. I was like, all right, I'm gonna get to I'm gonna get to see girls in bikini on the Fort Lauderdale beach, and my total time at the Fort Lauderdale beach was driving past it on the way to the airport, and I could kind of see it through the fog and mist of the rain. That's what I know about South Florida. When it rains a lot there. So I'm glad you're here, Uke. Jim, or Jan, not Jim, Jan. Will you say again what software you use to transpose sheet music to UTab? So, Jan, I will tell you two things. One, I use a program called Finale Music. I do not recommend that you get it. It's very expensive. It is meant for professionals who are working in orchestras. Yes, it can do everything. It can do every single thing. It's also $150 a year every year, and it takes you about $600 to get involved with it. And your learning curve on it is about 4 years. So you're going to be struggling with that thing forever, right? And if you want to publish music, you got to use that. You absolutely have to use that. But if you just want to create music sheets for yourself, I don't recommend it. One of these days they're going to come. They're right up there in Boulder. That's where their home place is. One of these days they're going to hear one of these broadcasts. Somebody will send them to you and say, Gary's telling people that they shouldn't buy Finale. There are reasons you buy Finale. If you're like me and you're publishing sheet music, you should get it. And then you just should spend the 4 years learning how to use the stupid thing. And then once you learn how to use it, you should spend the rest of your life tolerating all of the weird things that it does that it doesn't need to do. That their programmers are off skis, they're skiing rather than getting the bugs out of it. But that's, boy, I'm really have a love-hate relationship with that software. You should use, if you are a normal person getting ready to start creating some tabs and getting ready to learn how to make sheet music and stuff, you should use a free program that's out there readily available called MuseScore. MuseScore. I think you go to musescore.com, just put it in Google, it'll come up. And that program has a huge user base. It's totally free. They've already been running into all kinds of copyright problems with people creating music with that and then posting it without having any proper authorization, so they're working on those issues with it. But it really is, for free, a pretty darn good program. It's not going to allow you to create beautiful sheet music like I create that's publishing quality, but it will do a pretty good job, right? And so you'll be able to see it, you'll be able to write your tabs out and all that stuff. This summer, is probably about the 1st of August, I'm going to do a week of MuseScore here in this daytime classes, so that you guys that want to know how to write your own sheet music out can take that class. I don't use MuseScore, so I'm definitely a novice user of it, but I can definitely get you going on the basics of that. And then I also have a blank MuseScore blank that you start with that. Rather than building your own blank, you just use mine, and then it pulls up and has all the tabs and all that stuff on there, and then you just save it and start your new project. So that's what I would recommend for those of you guys that are just getting involved in writing music. If you imagine yourself writing legit, like pieces of paper that you want to sell somewhere down the road, or you want to share them with a larger group of audience, then MuseScore probably isn't going to be satisfactory to you. But Finale, it's hard and it's very unuser friendly, and a lot of people will use the other one that people use. It's much cheaper, but it's called Guitar Pro. Yes, Guitar Pro. The thing I like about Guitar Pro for beginners is it does everything automatically for you, so you don't have to know anything about anything, and it will mostly take care of you. The bad part about Guitar Pro is it does everything automatically for you. And so if you know what you're doing, that can be super irritating because you lose control of that. The other thing with Guitar Pro is you can't format your final layouts at all. And so you end up with a lot of really terrible looking music. So those are the three that I know of. I use Finale, but I don't recommend it unless you're going into this as a serious endeavor. I do recommend MuseScore because it's free and because there's lots of help out on the web for it. And I don't really recommend you use Guitar Pro, except I do have our ukulele players in the orchestra who don't really want to work very hard at getting music together. They use Guitar Pro because everything's automatic, and they're fine with the sheet music looking terrible. Right? They're just getting the basic song onto paper and then moving on. And so there's that. And it's, I don't know, I think it's $75 or something like that. So anyway, hopefully that's helpful, Jen. Lynn, looks like it might not storm, but it's pretty overcast right now. All right, so New Jersey, look out. You've gotten has the hurricane made it up there yet? Probably. Michelle, 72 and sunny here in Rockaway. Michelle is having a perfect day up in Rockaway Beach. Nancy, our other Southern Californian, 77. Nancy, that's sweater weather. What the heck is going on down there? Jacqueline, welcome. Sandy, Upper Michigan, 75 degrees. That sounds like a perfect day. Diane in from Denver, working on the baritone. Yay. I restrung my baritone. I'm very excited to play out of tune today. Elizabeth, 97. Dark rain clouds coming this way. Yeah, Denver's getting some kind of rainy look to it too out there. All right, let's see. You can do it. We call those storm palmetto pounders. Is that what they're called? Oh my God, it was unbelievable. You know, you live in Colorado and it rains about 15 minutes every month, and you're just like, oh, I like the rain, and then you see what East Coast rain is like, and you're like, this seems like an emergency, you know. Evelyn in, great seeing everyone. 86 degrees and sunny in Kailua. Shut up, Evelyn. We don't want to hear what it is in Hawaii. Yes, we do. Glad you're here. Jen. MuseScore. Yes, check it out. All right. Beethoven, Ode to Joy. Guys, you got to work on it this weekend. Here's your chords. Bum 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 bum. Right? That's it. And so it's really lovely to be the chord player when you're playing Ode to Joy. You should go get some friends and say, I'll play chords on Ode to Joy. And then look up from measure 9, and they just get even better. Bum bum, whoops, I'm sorry. Bum bum ba dum bum ba da bum 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 ba da bum. That's that A chord right there at the bottom of page, end of measure 11. You're like, what is going on? That's the wrong chord, and it creates all this tension to wrap it up. It's awesome. At the end of 11, he puts an A chord there. What? And then back at measure 12, bum bum bum. Now I've lost the train. Measure 9. Bum 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 ba da bum ba da ba da. Measure 12, ba da bum, and then back to the main idea. Bum bum ba da ba. Bum 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 bum. Okay, so the chords are awesome. Like Beethoven is okay. He knows, and he doesn't need jazz chords. You know, he does have one in here at G minor 7th, but Beethoven just needs the power of music, right? And so it's great. I didn't give you a melody line on this one, so you have to know how to pick it out if you're going to end up playing melody. How do you pick it out? He waits patiently while you formulate your answer. The top note, always the top notes in Tufuke. Okay, so if you are going to play the melody, which we're about to do right now, let's do it. Okay, just the top note. Don't play the whole chord. Don't play Tufuke. Just play the melody. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, oh, 1, 3, 3, 1, oh, 3, 1, 1, 3, oh, oh, 3, 3. Oh, oh, 1, 3, 3, 1, oh, 3, 1, 1, 3, oh, 3, 1, 1, 3, 3, oh, 1, 3, oh, 1, oh, 1, 3, oh, 1, Keep going. Oh, oh, 1, 3, 3, 1, oh, 3, 1, 1, 3, oh, 3, 1, 1. Okay, so there's the melody. It's sitting there. It's always sitting there on top of the tough uke. I don't normally give it to you on its own line, and probably at some point one of these days I will go. We did this because we were trying to. We did this piece of paper to teach that skill, but most of you guys already know that skill. So I'll probably eventually just make this a regular piece of paper. Then let's do the tough uke. Okay, and again, every 2 beats, you're going to be tossing in that chord, and again, Beethoven, very powerful. Bum 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 bum. Okay, so every 2 beats he's putting in a new chord, just creating a lot more energy for this piece of music. It's the 4th movement of the 9th symphony, right? And so it's really this time when you're like, all right, we got to wake the audience up because we're about to finish things, and it really works. All right, here we go. From the top. Tough uke, you can pluck it or you can strum it. Either way, I'll do down with my thumb. 1, 2, 3, 4. At the wrong line there. Again, right? Claw pick. Always check every song, right? Claw pick it, and then go through with your thumb. What you'll find, generally speaking, is everything sounds great with your thumb, but you don't necessarily always want everything coming out of your ukulele to sound the same. And so sometimes you use your thumb, sometimes you'll claw pick, sometimes you'll do the other techniques that we talk about all of the time. Elizabeth says, "Go ahead and do it. Have you read much, Carl?" Oh, there we go. All right. Literary references. Now, what we really did this song for was the painful uke, right? And that's where you have to use your claw. This is finger style at its finest. When we talk about finger style, it has come to mean, thanks to YouTube, that you're going to play something on every 8th note. Every single 8th note, you're going to play something. Most of the time, the melody is bum, 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 bum. And then in fingerstyle, we're going to add some chords, and we're going to add in some decoration between all of those notes, so that we are just busy as a bee in a tar bucket, getting through the whole entire song. And you'll see there's one point where there's a quarter note. Other than that, the entire song has all 8th notes in it at painful uke. Okay, and it'll make you sound like, ugh. They will come and they will sit at your feet and they say, "Will you teach me how to play ukulele, because you are breathtaking in the way you approach music." Okay, and that's what I want you to be. Okay, happens to me all the time. Never. From the top, grab your claw. We'll slow it way down so you have a chance, and let's see what we do. 1, 2, 3, 4. let it ring out. Treat it like there's a fermata there, and then go. 13. Ready? Play. Monday, we will take that repeat first for real. We'll hit that repeat, turn around, go right back to the top, play the whole second thing all the way through, and then when you get to 15 the second time through, let's take a look at what's going to happen. Measure 15, you come in, and then you jump to 17. Let it ring as if it's a false ending, and then put your fancy F chord on. Okay, and you can pluck it or you can strum it. Okay, either way, I tend to strum at the end of those last chords because I just think, okay, I want to tell everybody we're done, and they can erupt in thunderous applause. Okay, which is what they did for Beethoven. And so you're basically just picking up the wand from Beethoven, creating a fingerstyle arrangement of this thing you wrote, and off you go. One of the things that is fun about this type of music is that everybody knows the theme, right? I mean, you heard it in Looney Tunes growing up, and so you think that's classical music, and then you take the ukulele and you put that melody, and then you decorate it with our skill set that we have been working on since the day you showed up, and you end up with a pretty neat sounding little piece of music. I get questions all the time, hey, do you have more classical music? That's not really what they're asking, right? They're asking for music that reminds them of classical music, and this reminds people of classical music, or it sounds very official and very smart. You guys know for sure that it's way harder to play Eric Clapton, way harder, but this is the kind of stuff that people think makes them sound fancy. So there's that. Let's play it on baritone real quick. And guys, you're probably going to have to look up, those of you on ukulele, you're going to have to look up your chords probably on the baritone version. So let me double check I'm not lying to you. And this one can go away. I'm going to put this one into Foursquare. Okay, so C chord, D minor 7th, that's going to be your D minor shape with your pinky up here. Okay, so if you're strumming and if you're just supporting us with chords, make sure that's your D minor 7. G, C, A minor, D minor, you should know C, G, and then in the bridge here, G, your E chord. All right, ukulele players, you just do it, just play it, and don't worry about it. It's going to sound like what, and then it's going to be fine. Your A minor. So I guess there's not as many to look up as I thought. I will tell you, I'm very excited about this. I bought this baritone about 12 years ago. I've hated it every single day for 12 years. Finally, the nut came off of it last winter. And I'm just sitting it on this shelf over at this studio and let it think about how it's ruined my life for 12 years. And I finally got it up and running today, and it's actually sounding, I think it might have learned its lesson. Got a okay sound to it. I put on different strings than I've ever put on anything before, so we'll find out if they work. All right, here's the baritone version, and those of you guys with ukuleles, 4 beats per measure, right? So C, C, D minor, G, G, C, C, A minor, D minor, C, C, G, G, or whatever, okay? Or 1 strum per chord, okay? I'll try to keep the pace steady. Baritone players, game face on, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. sorry. F chord at the end, C chord for you guys. Okay, so on Monday, obviously we'll replay that again. This gives you the weekend to work on it. As a reminder, we've moved the Kick Your Fanny Friday concerts to Mondays. So we'll do Kick Your Fanny Friday concert Monday edition. Here's your plan. Get this together this weekend, and people will think you're legit. They already do. They already know you're legit. They knew you were legit till you start playing ukulele, and then they're like, I don't know. They've changed. Monday, a studio by Torrega. Not a classical piece, but seems like it. It's a well-known romantic guitar piece. Beethoven's for Elise, not a classical piece of music, a well-known romantic beginning piano piece. And oddly, that's exactly where I took it from, was a piano arrangement. And then Beethoven Ode to Joy, not a classical piece of music, a romantic symphony, fourth movement, intro to the fourth movement, right? Or maybe it's the outro. I can't remember. I don't know. I don't listen to too many symphonies anymore. But that's pretty legit music, right? So hopefully you got the weekend to spend a little bit of time getting it up to speed, and then on Monday we'll knock it out. It'll sound amazing. This ukulele will stop being out of tune, theoretically, by then, and we'll go from there. I'm going to pull the plug on this stream and start the last stream. We are doing Eric Clapton's Wonderful Tonight, the final arrangement that I put together. I got it done about 2 hours ago, so we'll see how many typos I made. And come sit in on that. It's way more interesting music, oddly, than this Beethoven piece. And not that you're not supposed to say that as a musician. You'd be like, oh, Beethoven. But it's a little like saying, oh, the Beatles, for goodness sake. And I know you're just people that get a little nervous when you say that. So let's go play Wonderful Tonight with Eric Clapton. I'm going to shut this stream down, start a new stream up, and you can run over to Jolly Roger, pick it up, or just refresh my page here on YouTube, and you'll be there. So thank you all for being here. Hopefully that made some sense to you, and you're welcome. You guys are welcome. All right, I'll see you in the next half hour. Peace. Jeez Louise.